Welcome to Oceania's virtual presentation, where we'll spend the next 30 minutes together. I'm Tina White, and I'm the Director of Strategic Accounts with Oceania Cruises, and I've had the pleasure of working with the cruise web for many, many years now. So whether you're in the dreaming phase of your next cruise journey or ready to plan for later 2020, 21, or even 2022, we hope to inspire you to cruise again today. We've had the pleasure of working in close partnership with the cruise web for many years now. Their travel advisors are well-versed on Oceania Cruises. They're available to answer your questions and help you navigate and plan your future cruise during these ever-changing times. So some of you may be joining us today for the first time and learning about Oceania Cruises, and others may be very familiar with our brand. But I thought it would be worthwhile to start by going back to the foundation of what's made us such a great brand since we began cruising back in 2003. So let's review our core pillars, and this truly hasn't changed since we began cruising. First of all, our ships are designed to be mid-size, and what that means to you is that there are less crowds, and yet having a mid-size ship, we're able to offer all the amenities of much larger ships, but again, without the crowds, without the lines. We have wonderful space ratios on board, which means we carry many less guests for the tonnage of our cruise vessels. And Oceania is thrilled to have 6 ships in our fleet cruising around the world today. One of the hallmarks of Oceania Cruises is the finest cuisine at sea. And we'll certainly talk more about this, but at Oceania, from our founders to our chefs on board to the guests that cruise with us, they truly enjoy a high level of cuisine. Every single plate is cooked to order. And year in and year out, we have won awards throughout the industry and from our guests and from travel magazines to offer the finest cuisine at sea. Thirdly, we are destination specialists. So our ships, again, being much smaller in size, are able to get into places and ports of call that you could never consider on much larger ships. And we know that our guests are experienced cruisers. They want to immerse themselves in the destinations that we visit. So we spend an inordinate amount of time designing itineraries to take you to wonderful ports of call. Plus, we spend more time in those ports. So let's jump right in. I thought I'd show you some images of the Oceania brand. In the last couple of years, we've invested millions of dollars re-inspiring the fleet in a program we call Oceania Next. And it really is taking a wonderful product like Oceania and just elevating the bar year in and year out so we can surprise and delight our guests when they come back to us. So we have re-inspired the majority of our fleet, every single stateroom, accommodation, public area. You can see some of the beautiful images here on board. Another part of Oceania Next was introducing Vero Water. So with our Sell and Sustain initiative and wanting to do what's right for the environment, we have done away with single plastic bottles on board. And so we replenish your waters, of course, always complimentary with Oceania. So no more plastic bottles. Here we're looking at our beautiful O-class ships. This is Marina and Riviera. This is one of our penthouse suites. But again, look at the beautiful color tones, the artwork. This is the grand entryway on one of the R-class ships where we're using the gorgeous Lalique crystal. Lalique is a crystal maker in France that is world-renowned. And we're proud to partner with them and bring the Lalique crystal aboard the Oceania vessels. Here we're looking at one of the owner suites. This is on board the Riviera and designed by Ralph Lauren Home. Again, it's funny, you know, people ask, you know, how far out do your ships sell? And on ships, the top of the ship, your suites and your lowest categories tend to sell first. So those of you who are thinking ahead, even to 21 and 2022, you do want to book your suite reservations early to make sure that you can get the suite of your choice on the itinerary of your choice. Again, there are just a handful of these beautiful owner suites on board. So let's talk a little bit about who the typical Oceania cruiser is. You know, we kind of look at look at it as a psychographic profile more than an age group. It's more of a mindset. And so we kind of see that there are three types of travelers that really enjoy cruising with Oceania. That's the Epicurean explorer, the wellness seeker, and the affluent adventurer. And so I thought we'd delve into a little bit more of that today, with a particular focus today on the affluent adventure. And we're going to talk about our brand new Go Local tour series. But let's start with our Epicurean explorer. Remember, I started by saying we offer the finest cuisine at sea. The Oceania, even though we have what we consider mid-sized ships, we offer 6 to 8 different dining venues on board, always at no cost to our guests. And we believe that you should be able to dine with whom you want, where you want. So for instance, if you want a table for 2 by the window, or you want to sit outside and just enjoy dinner as you're sailing out of a Greek port for the evening, we offer all those choices to our guests. We also offer hands-on cooking classes. Oceania has the only hands-on cooking schools at sea on board Marina and Riviera. We do a vast variety of culinary tours ashore. Again, our whole idea is to immerse yourself in a destination, to introduce you to the cuisine of the countries we're traveling to. I thought just to show you one of our restaurants, this is a peek at Red Ginger, and it gives you an idea of the intimacy of our restaurants. They're beautifully designed, all with their own china. Red Ginger, I think, is one of my personal favorites. There's a dish that I love to make, believe it or not, at home. It's our miso glazed sea bass. And we serve this on board. We too, and the Cruise Web can share that recipe with you. But Red Ginger is an Asian fusion restaurant. Again, one of 6 to 8 restaurants offered. You can dine with us at Polo Grill, our steak and seafood house, at Toscana, which is our Italian eatery. You can dine outside under the stars, where we'll feature a Greek night if we're cruising in Greece, or Italian pasta in Italy. All your favorites. And of course, our grand dining room is available again at no charge in any of these restaurants that you enjoy dining. The second bucket of guests that really love our experience is the wellness seeker. And what we found as we look at trends and what our guests are looking for, they want a vacation, but they want to keep their wellness in check. They want to get up and they want to go to the gym early in the morning and work out. And they want to go have their fresh green pressed juice at the juice bar. And then they want to do an active wellness excursion ashore. And so we've really evolved in the last decade and a half to weave these experiences into our cruise vacations if clients choose. Last year, we introduced Aquamar, which is our own spa and vitality center. And we not only oversee the spa treatments and the gyms, all of our classes on board are complimentary. If it's Pilates or yoga or strength training, so you have all those options on board. But additionally, we take that experience ashore. And so, for instance, if you want to do meditation on a beach in the Mediterranean, or you want to learn to do Tai Chi in a park, all those options are available. We also have more active excursions like bicycling, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in one of the ports we're going to feature in a little while. So again, there's really that trend to vacation and spend time being mindful of our health, of our mental outlook. And so you have all those options on Oceania. And it's worth mentioning for diet and health, we offer the most extensive variety of vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free options on all of our ships. The last bucket I want to talk about is the affluent adventurer. And we know that our cruisers are typically very well-traveled. Typically, they've cruised many times before, often on many brands before they find Oceania. They come to us and they find they love the size of the ship. They love the ports of call and the itineraries we've designed, and they stay with us. And so one of the things I would say is, if you're looking at Oceania, we offer everything from 7 days all the way up to 180 days around the world, if you can imagine. But what's so unique is that we do so many overnight and extended stays in port. So places like St. Petersburg, Russia, we spend 3 full days because there's no way you can encompass and experience it all in just a couple of days. So the other thing that we do is we introduce ways to go back to these places and experience them differently. So if you've been to Rome and you've already seen the Vatican and the Colosseum, we know there are other ways that you can experience a destination around Rome very differently. And so I hope to kind of introduce that to you today. Again, with our fleet of 6 ships, we do cruise the world. We are everywhere from the Pacific, Australia, Tahiti, Asia, Africa. We're in South America. Again, our ships move with the seasons. And so we're in the Southern Hemisphere, typically in the winter months. And then we're up in North America, of course, Alaska, the Panama Canal, could be Canada, New England. We do have cruises a little bit closer to home, as well as Europe is a very large destination for us, including Eastern and Western Mediterranean, the British Isles, Scandinavia, Norway, Iceland. So we're cruising every continent except Antarctica. So it doesn't matter what you're thinking about and how far out. We think that the experts at the Cruise Web can really help steer you to an itinerary and a destination that meets your future cruise interest. We're really excited at Oceania this past year to have introduced a series of Go Local tours. And we are expanding these all the time. We started in Europe and now we're expanding around the world. But there are over 180 Go Local tours that you can choose from. So any given itinerary that you're looking at, and if you're exploring our shore excursions on our website, it'll identify this as a Go Local tour. And so you might say, Tina, what's a Go Local tour? Well, first of all, they're smaller in size. They're only 20 to 25 guests on board, so very personalized. And we take you to places that you wouldn't ordinarily see. So this is not going past a church and visiting a cathedral or going back to the Colosseum. This is truly a unique, one-of-a-kind experience to meet the local people. So you might be a shepherd for a day and herd sheep, or you might go fishing in a local fishing village off of Portofino and get the catch of the day. You might learn a new language in Bordeaux, France. You might learn gardening in Norway from master gardeners. So no matter where we are, we think these are really unique experiences. So I thought today we would bring a few of these experiences alive. And this is just a very small slice of Go Local tours. But I'm featuring an itinerary called Pillars of History. It's an Athens to Barcelona cruise that's 10 days. It's departing in August of 2021. Certainly not the only time we visit these ports, but I thought I'd use it as an example. This cruise starts in Turkey, visiting places like Ephesus and Marmaris. It goes on to Greece, visiting the islands of Mykonos and Santorini, over to Italy, visiting Sicily, going up the coast of Sorrento, Rome, and Florence, over to France, visiting Saint-Tropez, and ending in Barcelona. But we thought that we would highlight something rather unique. You might be saying, well, I've been to many of these ports, and maybe I've been to Rome, but have you been truffle hunting in Rome? So on this particular shore excursion, we're going to take a very small number of guests truffle hunting on a farm. Now, if you're not familiar with truffles, they're an underground fungus that typically grows around the roots of certain trees like oaks and beech and birch and hazel. They look a little bit like a rough-skinned potato. And our expert local truffle hunters know where to find them, and typically they're fiercely guarded locations. As you may know, they're very expensive. So you will follow our local truffle hunter and dog through the forest, where you'll learn about the local species of truffles and all of their characteristics. You can actually watch the dog in action, hunting for the truffles. And it's rather interesting because I thought truffle hunting was only done a very, very specific, narrow time of the year. But there are different types of truffles, and they mature at different times of the year, depending on the region they're at. So the white truffle is considered more special than the black truffle, because it's only grown at specific limited latitudes and regions. And they don't need to be cooked to show their intense aromas. So here you'll have the opportunity to learn both about the black and the white truffle. And of course, you've got to have the opportunity to sample the truffles. And so we'll have a light lunch on the farm in the farmhouse. And we'll shave, the fresh truffle across pasta and have Italian specialties. So really a very, very unique opportunity. This is not only new to Oceania, but from our experts creating and planning these tours, this is a brand new tour, period. So we're very excited to bring it to our guests. On this same itinerary, while we're in Greece, we'll be visiting the island of Santorini. I think my favorite personal island, just absolutely stunning beauty. And of course, if you've already done the village of Thera or you've been up to Ia, maybe you're looking to do something a little bit different. So here on the island of Santorini, we will take the day and visit a local craftsman's studio where they make the local, it's like a guitar, it's called a bouzouki. And so it's kind of exciting to learn a little bit more about the local culture, not only through the food, but also through the music. So we'll start by stopping to have a cup of Greek coffee. If you've never had Greek coffee, it's very much like Cuban or Turkish coffee. It's very strong, very potent. And we'll pair that with some lovely pastries like Greek baklava. And then we'll continue on to a local village to visit one of the beautiful white painted churches that are picture postcard perfect before then entering one of the bouzouki studios where you can learn about the traditional instrument making. So again, a chance to meet people face to face and learn what's important to them, what their craft is all about. After visiting the bouzouki workshop, we'll then conclude with a stop at one of the local wineries. This is the Gavalis winery. And if you've ever had Greek wines, I mean, their white wines are absolutely stunning. I think it all has to do about the volcanic terroir on the island of Santorini, but we'll have a chance to sample some of their beautiful wines before returning to the ship. So again, just a very unique perspective on Greece. Our next itinerary is a passage to Iberia, and it's a 12-day cruise from Rome to Lisbon, and this is departing in May of 2021 aboard Riviera. And again, I'm only going to touch on one of our Go Local tours here, although this itinerary combines Italy with Monte Carlo, Antibes, France, Spain, as well as Morocco, Gibraltar, and Portugal. So a great overview of the Western Mediterranean. So for those of you that haven't been to Valencia, it's sandwiched between Barcelona and the south of Spain. It's sort of on the mid-coast. It's known for this beautiful futuristic area with museums and aquariums and planetariums. It's also the home of the Valencia Orange. And a great way to experience this area is by bike. I had a chance to do this about a year ago, and it was just fabulous. So this is about a 3-hour tour. Again, you have to be in good shape or in order to get on a bike. But again, this area is pretty flat, so it's not like you're, biking the Swiss Alps. But after departing the pier, we're going to pedal towards a little nearby village called El Cabinal. It's a residential district founded by the local fishermen in the 13th century. It's a great area to just kind of see how the local people live and see the local architecture. You'll see a close-up view of the marina and some of the buildings. And then we're going to bicycle to a place called Alboraya. And again, we're trying to pick places that aren't on the typical tourist map. And again, I don't know about you, but I love to see how the local people live. And I love to get off the beaten path. And that's what this tour allows you to do. And if you're anything like me, one of my favorite things when I travel is to experience the culture through the food. And I can't think of a better place than Spain to do that. So this is something called horchata. I don't know if you've ever had it, but it's like a milkshake. They take the chufa nut and they make this into this wonderful creamy drink, and they spice it with cinnamon or nutmeg. And so we'll have a chance to drink the local horchata. Those of you who have traveled maybe through Central America, Latin America may have also experienced horchata there. And then the home of paella is Valencia. So we're going to end this tour by going to a local paella tasting. where you can taste paella made with some of the local seafood, the chicken, and again, the rice that's flavored with saffron. So really a wonderful way to spend the day bicycling and enjoying some of the local cuisine of Valencia. So again, those are just a few of the many, many Go Local tours. Your experts at the Cruise Web can take a look at any itinerary with you and highlight what other Go Local tours we're offering. But I thought I'd spend the last few minutes today talking about the value of an Oceania cruise. Because since we began in 2003, our philosophy has always been not nickel and diming you once you're on board that cruise. So the free shuttles that we provide in 90 ports around the world, the idea that your specialty dining is always included at no extra cost, the idea that you can go up to the coffee bar and have free lattes and cappuccinos, all of the Vero waters and the soft drinks are included, complimentary 24-hour room service, free unlimited internet, free launderette service, and then beginning with our winter 21-22 season, we will also begin to include free transfers when you include Oceania Cruises' O-Life Choice Air program from the United States. So again, a tremendous value, but then couple that with O-Life Choice, and O-Life Choice gives you the opportunity not only to bundle your airfare, which is included in your cruise price, but to choose either free shore excursions, an alcoholic beverage package, or a shipboard credit. And as you can see from this slide, the value of those shore excursions is going to just depend on the length of your cruise. So if you're on a cruise from 10 to 13 days, you're going to receive 6 free shore excursions per stateroom, or you're going to receive a shipboard credit of $600 per stateroom. So again, O-Life Choice, more amenities, more value for our guest. In addition, the Cruise Web is one of our top preferred partners, has many, many departures with exclusive amenities, and that amenity is free prepaid gratuities. So those of you who cruise know that's a tremendous value. The gratuities on Oceania Cruises are valued at $16 per person per day. So on a 12-day voyage, that could be a value of $384. So you get the Oceania amenities included, you get O-Life Choice, as well as the Cruise Web amenities. Lastly, Oceania has just introduced the Ultimate Sale, which is a tremendous savings. It's a price reduction on all of our published itineraries moving forward. So certainly this is a buyer's market. It's a tremendous opportunity to perhaps experience Oceania if you never had before at a tremendous value, or if you cruised with us and maybe you sailed in a balcony stateroom, maybe this is an opportunity to upgrade to a suite accommodation for very little more. Again, we want you to tap into your inner explorer, look at the tremendous value. And I will say that right now in this environment, it doesn't matter if you're, thinking of late 2020 or planning 21 or 22, there are some great itineraries, and we will protect your price no matter what happens in the market. So if you were to commit today to sail with us at the end of 2020, and for some reason we came out with a better sale, the Cruise Web can contact us and we will refare your price so you can book now with confidence, knowing that your cruise will have a best price guarantee. So I know I've covered a lot of information in just this very short amount of time that we had together. I just want to say that by committing or booking with an expert like the Cruise Web, you have a wealth of experience behind you. They have been around for a long, long time. Their travel advisors are well-versed on the Oceania brand, and they are here to answer any questions that you might have. And actually, while we've been talking, I see a few questions come through. So I thought I would answer some of those, if that's okay with everybody. Right, so the first question is, how many Go Local tours is Oceania currently offering? Well, we're increasing them all the time. Literally, as we speak, we are designing and working with our operators around the world and adding to our portfolio, but we currently have about 180 that we're offering right now. What is the typical size? And I will say it does vary, but the average size of a Go Local tour is 20 to 25 guests maximum, which is what makes it so special. How far in advance can we make our reservations? Well, I'm thinking that's for the Go Locals, the shore excursions that we offer, and we can go up to 300 days before departure. In the very near future, in the next couple of months, we're going to be increasing that to 500 days before departure, which I think is really nice, because if you're an experienced traveler and you're going to Rome and you want to go truffle hunting and that's why you're going, you want to know that by being able to pre-book that truffle tour, it's a good reason to book it in advance when you know it's limited participation. In terms of booking your cruise vacation, we are published right now through May of 2022. And I would say that we definitely have guests, particularly if you want a particular port of call, a particular stateroom. There's no reason not to commit now, because again, with that best price guarantee, if our pricing were to go down, we would protect your cruise investment. And someone has asked, is it too early to plan for 2021? I would say absolutely not. One of the things that we're seeing in this COVID environment, to be very honest, is that people are staying close to home right now. And so if you had planned to be in Europe in May or June of this year, so many of our guests are rebooking it for 2021 and are very anxious to go back to Europe. So if anything, we're seeing an earlier, higher demand for 2021. So I would say, work with your cruise web advisors, pick an itinerary that works for you. Let them guide you on booking these very special excursions. It certainly is not too early to plan 2021. So the Cruise Web has put together quite a few different things because this is a virtual presentation. If you want to go to their website and view our videos, they have multiple short, really interesting videos that you can participate in. You can actually queue in and join one of our resident artists on a craft project. You can learn to cook with Oceania Cruises by following our Oceania Cruises blog. We have a beautiful electronic brochure with the virtual sale prices that are introducing the new price reductions. So again, anything we can do to assist you in your travel planning, that's what we're here for. So again, if you're planning, if you're dreaming, as you're waiting at home to get out again, we are here to support that. We thank you for your time today, and we look forward to welcoming you back or to the Oceania Cruises for the first time. Thank you. And again, thank you again for joining the Cruise Web. Additional questions, you can call 1-800-377-9383, or you can visit the Cruise Web at their website at thecruiseweb.com. Thank you, everyone.